it's Arafire back with another episode of All Talk, No Shock. But quickly just want to say, I feel like I want to do another Q&A video, another Q&A session, only this time I want to do a live video and a live Q&A. What do you guys think? It's something that I want to do. The Q&As are quite fun. I have been doing them for landmark videos, but I think they're a good way to just interact with you and hear anything you guys have got to say and get a bit of a live response, especially off the top of my head. Doing them live could be a bit different. I've got to find a right time to do it. Put a comment below and see what you think.
All Talk, No Shock.
But today we're back with another episode of All Talk, No Shock. And it's a topic that I want to kind of rehash from a little mini segment I did on Transformers the show. And you may have seen it. It's to do with transformation. What it used to mean, what it has meant since, and what it means now. Because it's changed quite a lot over the years. You'll recall back in the Generation 1 days and in the days of the comics, the Marvel comics that is, transformation was for robots in disguise. But even if you go back a bit further than that, it was a toy gimmick, it was a converting gimmick to two cool items, a robot and a car generally. And oh look, they can change into each other, isn't that cool? For marketing purposes. When it came into a narrative, a storyline, then all of a sudden it was hiding in plain sight, more than meets the eye, robots in disguise. It gave it a different objective, a different purpose, and for a very long time it made a lot of sense. But as always with these things, they have to continue to develop and things have to change. And even in some of the Generation 1 episodes we found out that the art of transformation was to basically overcome war. And this is what you saw really in the latter stages of the Generation 1 cartoon. In Generation 1 as a whole, you saw transformation into war vehicles, and it wasn't so much really by the second season of the cartoon. They'd given up trying to hide from the humans. They were very much interacting on a face-to-face level. So transforming became a practicality for them. And this trend would carry on for a very long time. Again, transformation being a toy gimmick, not so much trying to hide, not so much trying to be robots in disguise anymore. Until Beast Wars came along in the mid-90s, and all of a sudden transformation went completely different. And I think the best reason to do a transformation full stop, particularly in the first season, they had to transform to survive. They obviously crash on a prehistoric Earth, there's too much raw energon, and in their current robotic forms they will short circuit, go into stasis lock, no good for them. So they had to transform and to take the shapes of organic beasts who weren't affected. The transformation gave them a way to protect themselves from the outside elements. It stopped being a reason to do it, a luxury to do it, and it became a necessity to do it. And this is why I think Beast Wars did it so right. It took a toy gimmick, something that was fun to do, and it became something that was necessary to do. Sadly, with Beast Wars, things have to develop, otherwise they become stale. And by the time we got to the second, third season of Beast Wars, we had transmetals and they didn't need to protect themselves anymore. And it went slightly back to being a luxury again, or having more gimmicks or triple changes. It was nice while it lasted. But interesting enough, when the live action movies came around in 2007, it was again very much about the hiding in plain sight and taking on the forms of everyday Earth vehicles and spaceships or jets or whatever you could find to blend in and hide the fact that there was an alien race on the planet. But again, that didn't last too long, and sure enough, you saw, probably by the latter stages of the first film, robots were running around the streets of America just like they were there all along. But then, completely different of course, is the IDW comics, and even old or new, transformation really wouldn't come into it at all because you read comics, I guess, for dialogue, so transforming doesn't have much of a place in comic books, not like it would on an animated screen. And it's something you do see, but again, it's a bit gimmicky. It's not trying to hide, or very few instances that it would be. And then of course we're right up to date. If you look at War for Cybertron, a Netflix series, again, they're not on Earth, they have no reason to hide, so transformation is again a bit of a gimmick, and mostly they're Cybertronian vehicles because they're still on the Cybertron until they get to Earth. We'll have to see what Kingdom brings us, of course. We'll hopefully go back to a bit of a Beast War setting where they have to transform into local animals, not because they want to, but because they have to. what could be a bit of an interesting tale is, I guess, the Cyberverse cartoon, because again there's a lot of Earth interaction to it, and maybe again we're looking at the hiding in plain sight because they're taking on modern day vehicles. They are existing pretty much on Earth most of the time. It's an interesting concept. What is the main gimmick of Transformers? And it is a gimmick. It's a shame because it's something we talk about so much, how transformation on toys is so complicated, it's this, it's that. But it's so interesting, it doesn't mean anything like it used to. Going from hiding in plain sight to transforming into 6 different things in 6Shot's case, or into triple changes all over the place to have the biggest arsenal at your disposal. It's changed so drastically. For the biggest gimmick of Transformers, yet it doesn't really get focused on too much. Personally, for me, I thought Beast Wars did it best. It gave it a reason to. I mean, it's cool enough having a robot that can transform into something else, but then giving it a reason to, that it has to, because it can't be in one form for too long. It just adds an extra dynamic, and that's what I want to see again. Again, give it a reason. Otherwise, it becomes played out after too long. But what do you guys think? Do you think that transformation has really meant whatever it needs to be to fit its narrative over the years? Is there one particular reason that you like them to transform? Is it just the fact you want to see a cool vehicle? Do you want to see a cool alt mode? Or do you want it to have a purpose and a reason that actually can mean something going forward? Leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you think. But thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.